Alrighty, let's go ahead and stub out the brand, get the brand more than stubbed out. No reason to. I see, it got me. It actually did not have selected. It removed selection, although I had selection. Drives me nuts. Let's get all this into place right now. Changed my mind. It's taking a little bit too long there. Everything's good. Let's get going. When I first got out of the Army, I used that Will Robertson joke. You know, the Lost in Space, the old 1960s version of it. I always had robot in my error messages while I was developing. And ever since then, I can't quit using it. Robot always works its way into my error messages. So, of course, if we updated anything, then we want to reload our categories because we want the IDs. Now we could work it out in this method in here to update all that data, update the ID, etc. But let's not. Let's just reload. Even if we have 1,000 brands, there's not 1,000 car brands out there, but if we did have that many, still wouldn't hurt. So if our brand is marked as new, or if it's marked as dirty and for some reason the ID is less than 0, meaning that it was not committed, we'll go ahead and insert it like it's brand new. Yeah. If you don't know, the @ symbol means a string is literal. So we can put what normally are illegal characters in there. So we are going to add the parameter with a value. Now once we've added this parameter, since we're in a loop, if we don't clear the parameters, then what will happen is it will actually have the parameter in there twice, and that will give us an error message. We don't want that. Like duh. So let's get our new ID. Just like before when we were checking if the table existed. And this is where our ID possibly could be below 0. So we could actually have a brand out there multiple times. Or a category out there multiple times. And clear our parameters for the next loop because we could have multiple items that we added. And yes, we want to go ahead and reload. I think I'm being a little bit overcautious there. Overcautious. So if we are going to delete this item and it has an ID, then we'll go ahead and delete it. If it doesn't have an ID, that means we changed our mind, we added it, and then we decided to delete it. And the reload should take care of it. And that's really the main one that we really need to reload for, is the delete, I guess. Because if we have a delete that ID is less than 0, then we're not actually removing it. You'll end up having a bunch of places. If the application gets more complicated, you'll have numerous places in the application where you'll have to call over and over again to make sure that the category or the brand was deleted. I realize in the simple application that's probably not true, but other situations is something bugs me about that. Let's go ahead and test. It's always good to practice debugging. I see what I done. You see what I done? I'll leave it in there. That update command is, I don't want to give it away. I'll leave it in there for now. And we'll do a little bit of debugging. It should only take a couple seconds. If you haven't already seen it, you will when we debug. I think I talk too slow when I'm typing. I shouldn't talk while I'm typing. I keep pausing for these long seconds. All right, now we are going to load our cat brands. This is pretty straightforward. First of all, I want to clear our categories and our brands. Clear our error messages also. And there will be no parameters this time. We're just going to select the ID in the name from each table. We execute a reader, then we loop through that reader. And I'm getting int 64 because I've gotten a few error messages when I try to get int 30 or int 32. And I think it's just a matter that SQLite maybe is in a transition period. So int 64 is bigger than int 32, of course. But I don't think our little application is ever going to get anywhere near that many vehicles, that many brands, and that many categories, should I say. We should be safe. We could probably get away with using a short, which would be int 16, but that would be a little unnecessary. I don't like that new rename in Visual Studio 2022. I just don't like that pop-up. It's too long. You've just been able to type it in place. I guess it's very Mac-ish. I know Microsoft just having a big "we love Mac" moment right now, trying to copy some of their functionality, but it's very annoying to me. Oh, what did I do wrong? Here's an error message and everything. Yeah. Don't really need the "from" in capital letters, but I got an extra comma in there. Let's try that again. There we go. Let's jump over there. Okay, our commands. Okay, we know that it will load correctly. Now let's get our commands in place. We've already got our code in place, so all we really need to do is cast the parameter to our view model. So I'm trying to be proper here and checking and making sure that it is a vehicle view, but there's nothing else it really could be, to be honest, at this moment. Our command parameter will be a vehicle view. It's almost the exact same code down here in the brand, except it's new brand instead of new category. All right, let's jump over to our removes. Need to refresh, tell everybody to refresh our can execute. Let's again check to make sure our parameter is a vehicle view. Let's go ahead and cast it first this time. And just return that its selected category is not equal to null. Else will return false. I might redo this tutorial in C++ and VisualBasic.net. Put a comment down below if you would like one or the other. All right, that was total laziness. All right, if you got something out of this, like and subscribe. All glory be to God. We will get the setup and finished in the next video. See you there.